Filming from Gen Con 2019, I'm here at the booth of Ares Games where they are presenting Tripods and Triplanes, a new game in the Wings of War system, and well, I'm a big fan of that system and I also love sci-fi, so this seems to be a match made in heaven for me. Very curious to learn more about it.
Yes, the combination of making sci-fi together with World War I and with an optional accessory World War II is something which we also loved almost immediately as a concept. And in fact, we think that Tripods and Triplanes for that reason can be a great introduction to the Wings of Glory system, also for players who are normally not so much into historical gaming. It has been a long time in the making, as our Kickstarter backers well know. This was supposed to be released a few months ago. Now finally it's here. We've just finished Kickstarter fulfillment for North America, and we are now presenting a pre-release of the game here at Gen Con. The concept is essentially that what happened in the War of the Wars by H.G. Wells here happens about 20 years after. So the technology of the Earthlings is much more advanced than it was in the H.G. Wells novels, and they can actually put up a fight against the Martian invaders. So the Martian invaders land on Earth exactly during World War I. Of course, the nations of Earth immediately call a truce to fight the alien invaders, so you can have Allied and German airplanes together fighting the alien invaders. The mechanics are going to be very familiar to anybody who already know how to play Wings of Glory, but can still be easy enough, simple enough to pick up for players who are new to the system.
So how do they, one player will be the human player and the other player will be the Martians, or one team the Martians, one team the humans?
Yes, that's basically the concept, even if in some scenarios we started to introduce several different options, such as tripods against tripods rules, assuming that the Earthlings have been able to capture the Martian tripods, or that you have like a rebellious faction of Martian invaders. But the basic concept is that you will play either one against another as a Martian against humans, or in teams Martians against humans, and most of the scenarios are based around that concept.
And how do the Martians move? Because that seems different from the way airplanes move.
Yeah, definitely that's the main departure from the classic Wings of Glory system. In Wings of Glory, the human player plays exactly following the normal rules. So he does his planning of 3 actions and executes the 3 actions one after another. For the Martian player, it's slightly different. He will still plan hiddenly, of course, in the normal game, 3 different actions, but then he will also have to choose one special action for every phase. So he doesn't just plan for the movement, just like the human player does, but must also plan in every phase, can plan in every phase one special action, which involves recharging or rotating, because of course they are not as movable as airplanes, so they are a little bit clumsy. They need to stand still to rotate. Destroying an objective. In the game, the Martians have the possibility of destroying objective. They can drain the objective for energy, or they can actually destroy them and put them out of the game, or shoot with the heat ray, or shoot with a black cloud launcher. So there is a little bit more planning on the tripod side, which represents the slowness in comparison to the airplanes of these machines, because while an airplane can always move and fight and shoot freely, the Martian players every turn must plan for one action, and you must somehow take into account what you want to do already when you do your planning.
Excellent.
You also have some restrictions in the sense that you have normal maneuvers, but you also have stationary maneuvers, and some of the actions you are restricted to do them when you are stationary. So typically you can always shoot while you are moving, but you can always only recharge or rotate or destroy objective if you stand still. So
Excellent.
I think this is a good way to represent the different way of moving, the different way of acting of the tripods against the...
And it definitely adds a very new, very fresh element to the game system.
Yeah, definitely. The scenario against the tripods plays very, very differently than a normal Wings of Glory scenario. Also because the planes are very fast, but also very fragile in comparison to the tripods. So typically you have to have a balanced match. You have 2 or 3 airplanes against 1 tripod, and you must really try to outsmart, outmaneuver the Martian invaders to win the fight.
Excellent. Thank you, Roberto.
You're welcome.